If you are planning on visiting Chicago, get ready to be overwhelmed with all the great attractions that the Windy City offers. But the good news is that I compiled this list of the top 10 best things to do in Chicago so you can spend less time stressing and more time enjoying your trip to this fantastic city. And you do not want to miss my bonus recommendation coming up later in this video. To start things off, we have number 10, the Magnificent Mile. This is what many people call the heart of Chicago. This stretch of the city is a shopper's paradise. While you will find some very high-end stores, you will also be able to browse through ones that are not as high-end. Scrolling up and down the Magnificent Mile is also a great way to take in the beauty of Chicago, the city life, and of course the skyscrapers looming above you. Number 9. The Lincoln Park Zoo. While this zoo is not the largest, only 49 acres, it does offer a very nice collection of exhibits and animals, which is always a great way to spend a few hours. Travel tip. If you're visiting Chicago on a budget, then you'll want to add this zoo to the list since it's free to visit. Yes, it is free. Now this next thing on my list you can only do when it's warm enough, which makes sense because I recommend visiting Chicago in the warmer months anyways. Number 8. Have a beach day. Seriously, did you know that you can find 26 different beaches in the Chicago area? And I'm not going to lie, the beaches along the beautiful Lake Michigan are really nice and the water's great as well. The top 3 beaches to check out in my opinion would have to be number 3, the Ohio Street Beach, number 2, North Avenue Beach, and number 1, the Oak Street Beach. You will enjoy swimming and taking in the views of the Chicago skyline as you're enjoying your day at the beach, and you can also try to replicate the skyline out of sand. Number 7, Millennium Park. While not quite as large as New York's Central Park, Chicago's Millennium Park is just as nice. And what makes Millennium Park really stand out is its architectural attractions. While everyone visiting Chicago needs to get a picture in front of Cloud Gate, aka the Bean, this massive sculpture consists of 168 stainless steel plates to make up this very unique structure. Crown Fountain is also a must-see attraction located within Millennium Park. And you're going to find 2 towers made up of 2,200 10-pound glass blocks that project images of Chicago residents on them. Travel tip. For the kids, I cannot recommend enough checking out Playgarden, which is one of the best playgrounds for kids that you're ever going to stumble upon. Number 6. Navy Pier. Not only is this pier a must-visit attraction simply due to the views of the city and Lake Michigan, it's also home to some great restaurants and attractions for your enjoyment. But the best part about the pier is that it's free to visit and walk around. Navy Pier is also the perfect place for families since you're going to find a handful of kid-friendly attractions and rides. Travel tip. For the best views of the entire Chicago skyline, I recommend taking a ride on the Centennial Wheel, which is a giant Ferris wheel almost 200 feet tall. I also recommend riding this during a sunset. Number 5. The Shed Aquarium. Opening up in 1930, the Shed Aquarium is one of the best in the entire world. Once inside, you're going to find 5 permanent exhibits to enjoy: Waters of the World, Caribbean Reef, Amazon Rising, Wild Reef, and the Abbott Oceanarium. The rest of the aquarium includes kids' activities and play areas, a 4D theater, a Stingray Touch outdoor exhibit, and so much more. If you're visiting Chicago, the Shed Aquarium is a great rainy day activity, or if you need a break from the cold or the hot temperatures, depending on the time of the year. Number 4. Chicago's First Lady River Cruise. While you will find multiple river cruises in the Chicago area, I find that this one is the best overall. Also, the Google rankings back that opinion up. Get ready to enjoy a 90-minute tour of some of Chicago's most iconic buildings and the history of these architectural marvels. Travel tip. If they have availability, I recommend the evening river cruise. Everyone really does need to experience scrolling through the waters of the Chicago River and taking in these views. But just a heads up, these tours do sell out fast, so I recommend booking as far in advance as you possibly can. Number 3. The Field Museum of Natural History. This is one of the most well-known museums in the entire world, and rightfully so. Opening in 1894, yes, 1894, this massive museum is so popular that over 1 million people spend a day here taking it all in. The Field Museum offers something for everyone, and you'll need to carve out at least 3 to 4 hours of your day to enjoy every exhibit and attraction that you're going to find within this museum, especially Sue, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, which also happens to be the largest T-Rex specimen discovered at the time, with a length of 40.5 feet, and she stands 13 feet tall. Now, if you like this style of video, here's a look at some of the other ones that I've done for other great travel destinations here in America. And for your convenience, you can find a link for these videos in the description of this one. And for the second best thing to do in the Chicago area, we have the Art Institute of Chicago, where you will find over 300,000 pieces of artwork inside this beautiful building. There is so much to see and take in at the Art Institute of Chicago that I recommend at least 4 to 5 hours to have time for it all. Ranked as one of TripAdvisor's best of the best US attractions in 2023, this attraction really is a must-see if you enjoy taking in this kind of a thing. Now, before I share with you the number one thing that you need to experience when you're in Chicago, if you found this video to be helpful in any way, then all I ask that you do is please take 1 second and give the video a like. That is by far the best way you can help support my channel, Travel Guides USA. And now it's time for my bonus recommendation, and that would be Wrigley Field. Now, I double recommend checking this out if the Chicago Cubs are playing a home game. This baseball stadium is arguably the one that offers the most history. Opening up in 1914, Wrigley Field is a sports icon and really is worth checking out. Travel tip: Wrigley Field offers tours that last 90 minutes, so if you cannot make it to a game, you can at least check out this awesome stadium. And now it's time for the number one thing to do in Chicago, and that would have to be the one and only SkyDeck Chicago, which is located at the Willis Tower, aka Chicago's tallest building. Get ready to take in some of the most breathtaking views that you're ever going to have in your life. How tall is the Willis Tower? Well, simply put, on a clear day you can see 4 different states. If you have what it takes to step out onto the ledge, which extends 4 feet outside of the 103rd floor, this makes for the best photo op in all of Chicago. Seriously, this experience is so worth it, and I highly recommend it. And just north of the Willis Tower is another great observation deck that you should know about, and this one offers even better views of Lake Michigan. This is 360 Chicago Observation Deck, which is located at the very top of the John Hancock building, where you will love enjoying your time 1,000 feet above the streets of Chicago. And just like the thrill-seeking ledge at the Willis Tower, the John Hancock building offers Tilt, which is labeled as the city's tallest thrill ride. This whole experience really is wild, and only for the true thrill seekers out there. Travel tip: if you're planning on visiting any of the following attractions listed out right here, including the 2 I just mentioned, you're going to save some money if you purchase the Chicago City Pass. Now, who doesn't like to save a few dollars when you're enjoying all these great attractions? And for your convenience, I'll place this link for the pass in the description of this video. Now, if you're planning a trip to Chicago and you want the best experience possible, then you need to watch my Chicago travel guide video, which is located at the bottom of your screen. So which Chicago attractions are you looking forward to most? Be sure to let me know in the comments, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to smile today, be adventurous, and never stop traveling.